Hi, this is Dax with Elemental Risk Management, and right now I'm going to give you a brief description of cyber insurance and what it is. So let's get into it. So as we all know, it's 2022 right now. The increase in threat of cyber attacks, cyber internet related shenanigans is only going up. And for the foreseeable future, perhaps forever, just seeing how the way our world is going, they're only going to increase. And insurance in and of itself is a reactive product. So we're always going to be behind the cyber attackers because they're always going to be one step ahead, figuring out new schemes, new tricks, new viruses, new whatever it is, to commit crimes and try and extort or steal money from people. So a cyber insurance policy, when these first came about, somewhere within the last 10, 15, 20 years, they were called cyber liability insurance policies. That's not really the case anymore. Really, we just call it cyber insurance because what's happening is these policies are getting much more broad, much more robust with the coverages that they offer, which is nice. But what happens is there's a new threat, ransom, whatever the hackers are doing, and insurance companies see these things. If they're not currently covered in the policy, they develop a coverage form, the coverage language, and they charge an appropriate premium for it. So what are some of the things covered in a cyber insurance policy? Well, obviously if you get hacked into and data, customer data, employee data, your data is stolen, most states have a data breach laws, so basically, and federal, kind of a requirement of if you're breached, what you need to do as a business owner to notify all of your customers and employees that their data is potentially being breached from your systems. Think Home Depot, think the US government, Target. We've heard about those incidences in the last 5 to 8 years. I think Sony had a breach. You have to notify, potentially in some states, depending on the law, pay for credit monitoring for those individuals to be able to monitor their credit activity to see if there's any shenanigans going on there. So the data breach part of it, the resolution expense to resolve that, and then anything that comes after it. So let's say one of those individuals that's data is breached from your business chooses to sue you because they say they're harmed. Well, it's going to cover, the cyber insurance is going to cover indemnity, settlements, potentially a jury award. So that's one thing. It's covered in a cyber insurance policy. What else is covered? Ransom. So if you're hacked into and a ransom is demanded of you, if you have a cyber insurance policy that covers ransom, you can call your insurance company right away, and they will help you, one, deal with that issue, hopefully mitigate it. But if you have to pay a ransom, a lot of time that's covered. Another hot topic in the cyber insurance world right now is what's typically called, some companies have different terminology for the same thing, but we call it social engineering. If you're lured, or one of your employees is lured in by trick, scheme, or other device, and willingly releases money to somebody that's trying to steal from you over the internet. An example of that might be you get fraudulent invoices that may be branded to look like they come from one of your vendors, and one of your employees in accounts payable pays that fraudulent invoice. That's covered under the social engineering aspect of a cyber insurance policy. A claim we had recently in the last year was an employee's email was hacked into. Hackers sent the HR person at the business an email requesting they change their bank account, the employee's bank account, for the direct deposits. couple direct deposits were made, employee didn't catch it right away because he was out on vacation. That's another example of social engineering. And I'm going to be quite honest, it goes on and on. So it kind of depends what's important to you, how much you're willing to spend to get a really broad cyber insurance policy, or maybe kind of a restricted one that only covers the data resolution, the data breach, and isn't going to give you much more than that. So it's very broad insurance policy that covers you as a business owner for basically internet crimes, funds transfer, all kinds of stuff. And I only know enough to be dangerous, and these policies are constantly getting revamped, revised, and made more broad. And I will tell you right now, in 2022, the cyber insurance market is extremely volatile. Rates are going up as much as 100%, depending on the type of business. And we're even seeing carriers get out of it, especially for big businesses that do more than 50 or 100 million in revenue a year. Those businesses are larger targets and have vulnerabilities, and obviously too the potential to extort more money out of them. So hopefully that helps kind of answer some questions about cyber insurance. It's a broad subject, it's an evolving subject. My recommendation, if you have questions, contact me, contact our team, or contact your agent and talk to them. But we're always happy to help answer questions.